Well, I was gonna head out to the mountains, but it doesn't look like it's gonna be very nice, even though it's not supposed to rain today. So this ride's gonna be a little short, and we're gonna talk about how my dreams of building or buying a camper van were destroyed permanently. And the reason for this is, I don't know what it's like in different provinces in Canada, but in Alberta, this is a big no-no. And yeah, we're gonna get into this. So as you guys know, probably by now, or at least in this video, the Jeep TJ is gone after like 11 years. Actually, probably closer to 15. I did so many things to it. I did a supercharger. I rebuilt it from a blow-in motor. It was probably the best $500 I ever spent. I did the LS swap in it. And then after I did the LS swap, everything changed. I got the JK, it offered more room, it offered more comfort. It was just an all in all better experience. And I kind of fell out of love with the TJ. But I kept it around and I kept it around, and you know what? When I was doing my taxes and that, I realized that in the past year, that Jeep TJ, I didn't even drive it 4,000 kilometers in a year. And then from Christmas time up until I sold it near the end of May, I had only driven it 400 kilometers in 5 months. So it was time to say goodbye. There's nothing wrong with the Jeep. It probably would have outlasted all my vehicles, but there becomes a time in your life where you just fall out of love with something and it just doesn't work for you anymore, and it was time to pass it on for someone else to enjoy before it started to fade away and get too rough. So that brings us to where this conversation is gonna start. So I talked about on my channel for a long time, I wanted a 4x4 camper van. I was gonna build my own van. I was gonna buy a van. If it wasn't 4-wheel drive, get it converted. So it all come down to, I went to go look a couple days ago at an all-wheel drive express van. It was 2014, low mileage, really great shape. So I went down to the dealership where it was at and I had a look at it. But the problem was it was too small. It was like a 144 wheelbase. So by the time you got your bed in there, you might have had like 3 feet for something else. So it really wouldn't have worked out for me. So I went back to where that other camper van was and I had a look at it and I hummed and hawed. And I talked about this before. We had that camshaft code. And I talked to a German specialist dealer, and they're saying with those Mercedes engines, the two things you got to watch out for are the EGR cooler, or the oil cooler leaks, and timing. And he said if the guy changed out the camshaft sensor and it still has the code, most likely there is a timing issue. In order to do the timing issue, the motor has to be pulled, and I'm looking at about 14 hours labor, and with parts and that would have cost me roughly around the $3,500 mark. So I got thinking about that. The price of that van wasn't too bad, but if I could get it for the right price, I would possibly absorb the cost of doing the timing. So like I said, I went back, I looked at it. I mean, the van build was really nice. So anyways, I got thinking, I'm gonna call my insurance agent, because I had to cancel the insurance on my TJ since I sold it. And I asked them, I said, hey, I'm thinking of adding a Sprinter to my insurance that has been camperized. How much would that cost me? And that's what she says, oh boy. She goes, this happens a lot. And she says, because it's a modified van, we cannot just insure it. There's very few companies that can insure that, and it's very expensive. So I gave her the VIN number. Keep in mind, this is a 2011. I gave her the VIN number and everything else, and there was one company that they dealt with that would actually take the higher risk to insure it. And the camper van a year was $3,000 a year to insure it, and I would have to get an appraisal on top of that. And I was like, holy shit, $3,000. That is way more than my auto and home policy combined. I'm like, that's not gonna happen. So I'm like, okay, these are the people I deal with, a broker. I'm gonna call some other people and I'm gonna say, do you guys insure a modified camper van? And everybody said the same thing. No, no, no. You have to go through specialized insurance. So now this begs me to question, all these people with these camper vans, are they have the right insurance, or are they just passing it by in regular automotive insurance? Because that's what I was wondering. And now some people may ask, is that why couldn't you just get it re-registered as an RV and that would drop your insurance rates? I did ask about that. Since it's not a professionally certificated RV build, I guess you want to call it, it does not matter. It will not matter. So my dreams have been ruined, destroyed. So yeah, the camper van thing is over. So now I'm on the hunt for something else. Most likely looking at a Cummins, and then get like a Palomino Real Light camper in the back. You know, those ones that pop up? That's one of the options that I'm looking at. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it is one of the options that I have in mind. Yeah, I think they're lying when they said it's not supposed to rain today. I was going to go out to Bright Creek, but I'm just coming down to Priddis. And once I get down the bottom of the hill, I am going to turn into Priddis, take the road that goes around, and come back out on Plumbers Road and back to Calgary. And hopefully I can beat the rain. Getting into Priddis here. And then we're gonna turn into the town. Man, gorgeous properties. Checked my lotto tickets this morning when I got up. I didn't win. I did not win, so I'm not moving out here anytime soon. Doesn't hurt to be a dreamer, though. What's going on in the town center today? Doesn't really look like too much is going on at all, actually. We got ourselves a little three-way stop here. And we got ourselves 2 speed bumps that we got to be mindful of. When there's one, there's a ZR2. I think that's probably what I'm going to be ending up with. I really would like a Cummins and put a truck camper in the back, but Cummins are expensive, so we shall see. Nobody playing tennis today. Cyclists must ride single file, and you know that is not happening. A lot of times these cyclists just come all over the road, they block the road and you're in your way to piss you off. Yeah, so there. If you owned one of these properties, think you'd cut it with a push mower, or do you think you'd have a ride on? How long do you think it'd take to cut with a push mower? Probably a full-time job. Back to the camper van. Yeah, I was like, I'm glad I just didn't bite the bullet and put in an offer on that Sprinter and then go to insured and be screwed. So I don't know, like I said, I don't know what it's like in other provinces, but in Alberta, camper vans are like a big no-no. unless you get this specialized insurance that is crazy expensive. And I did lots of Googling searches and going down the rabbit hole, and I heard BC, since it's a government insurance, they have something that can underwrite for a modified van. But like I said, I don't know what it's like in the States, because I don't know how the insurance works in America. And I know most of my viewers are probably American, but in Canada, yeah. So if you guys have been asking if there's going to be a camper van build, it's not going to happen. Because I was even looking at a Mercedes camper van that was like 4x4, totally outfitted with the off-road stuff. Just the interior needed to be built. It was 2015, asking 55. I was going to say maybe put an offer closer to 5, but I'm glad I didn't do that either. I couldn't imagine trying to spend $50,000 on this van and then go to insure it. By that time, it would have been a camper van, so I probably just would have insured it wrong. So these are things you gotta look out for. I just want to know, unless you guys know something that I don't, or know an insurance company that would do it. But as of right now, the camper van is a big no-no. Those clouds are looking dark, and I still got a ways to go of going south and then north. And I hope I don't get caught up in the rain, because that would suck big time. I always try to sing to my cat Carmen, and she does not approve of my singing. She does not like my singing at all. Just for the record. It is a beautiful day in the countryside. And is this a curve? Or is this my road? I think this is my road. Yes, this is my road, Plumber's Road. Still gotta watch these corners. A lot of gravel on them still. Oh yeah, I see the dark cloud right above me. I gotta race this dark cloud. Then once I get back onto the Cowboy Trail, I don't know what it's called, and then head back north, and then I can head east back to Calgary. I even put like the little carrier on the back, and I put like my battery powered mocha or cappuccino maker thing, and it's gonna drive out to the mountains and park in one of like the day use areas and have a nice snack. But I don't want to risk it. Like even right now, it's pretty chilly on the bike. So I'm just gonna race these storm clouds back to Calgary. Because right now, it looks like it can open up at any time. Oh yeah, what are those guys doing? Anything exciting? Driving this road backwards gives you a different perspective on things you don't see when you're going the opposite way. Not bad, not bad. So yeah, I got my crash bars on. New brakes on the front. This is my turn up. The new brakes on the front work extremely well. Way better than the old brakes. Well, I guess I can't really say much because the old brakes, the fork on the left-hand side was leaking. So obviously those pads were contaminated. This is my turn off. One vehicle coming. And then we're good to go. Sky looks a little bit better this way. Dark sky country. The ride feels pretty good today, because usually, like with my work schedule, if I don't ride the bike for my 5 days, and obviously that I'm at work, and my first day that I get back on the bike, it's always kind of like, I feel kind of iffy. But no, I feel pretty good. I just got to get back to Cowtown. I can smell the rain. And my rain gears, or my riding gear, definitely is not rainproof. I thought about doing a motorcycle trip. I don't know, next year maybe. Problem with the motorcycle trip, like an overnight camping trip, is that I like to pack way too much shit that I don't use. And that's gonna be my biggest problem. Somebody on the road there, cattle hauler, semi-hauling big equipment, more paving. Wonder where they're paving down south. Ah, it's a cyclist on the road. I see, I see. Oh, we're breaking through to some sun. Not bad, not bad. One thing that I should do is get a spare tire for my camper, since it looks like I'm going to be keeping that for a while. Because I believe the hunt for a Cummins or something is going to be a while. Especially if I end up with a ZR2, then definitely I will be using the trailer. When I look in the mirror, yeah, these clouds behind me are ugly. Gonna blast out of the storm section though. It's like I could almost see my breath in my helmet when I'm breathing. Here we go, we're on the home stretch now, leaving the storm clouds behind me. Let's get out of Dodge. So I guess that's going to be the end of the video. Of the camper van dream has been destroyed, and now I'm on the hunt for something else. I'm going to keep hunting for a Cummins diesel, but probably will end up with a Colorado. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this short moto vlog, and I'll see you guys later. Take care, everybody. Yeah, coming into Calgary, we got the good old side winds going down. I remember when I first started riding this bike, I was like, oh fuck. But I'm getting better at keeping the balance now with the side winds. Before I was like white knuckled, but I'm getting a feel for it now on shifting your balance. It's all coming back to me. I think after a couple seasons with the adventure bike, I think I'll go back to a cruiser. I'll get myself a Harley or something. The adventure bikes I love, but they are a different animal to ride. Cruiser, you sit down low, nice easy balance, and you can just rip on them.